Sam, I think it's about time we talked about what happened only a few weeks ago. We're on break, and you sent out a tweet that a lot of people were, I guess, very concerned by. What happened exactly? Because I must point out, I still don't know the full story behind this.
I wanted to share a story, actually, about what happened quite a few months ago. And I'm sharing this story because I think it's important for people who are out there who are going through a tough time, who might be getting picked on at school, or if it's a work colleague or whatever is going on. You know, I think naturally in this world you're not going to like everyone, and I think that it's about time that you think twice about the words that you use and how you treat people, because you just never know what's going on, behind closed doors or what's really going on. So when I first started this job in November, I'd been dealing with a lot, like the previous 2 years. It was emotionally and mentally exhausting. And then I started this job, and I love my job and I love working with you every day. But I copped a really hard time, and everyone was so critical, and the media was critical, and trolls were just horrendous. And I was getting so heavily trolled, and other elements to it that I don't even want to mention. But it got to a point for me for about 3 or 4 months that I would come to work and I would go home and I wouldn't even want to leave my house. I was so in an awful place. I was in a really, really dark place, and I shut my friends out, I shut my family out, and I'd come to work, go home, and then I'd stay in that dark, horrible place. And it got to a point where my relationship was struggling because I shut Sash out. And it wasn't until Sash said to me, after about 3 or 4 months of me in this horrible place, he turned to me and he said, "Sam, I don't know what to do anymore because all you do is cry and you're not talking to me." And I said to him, "I don't want to be here anymore." And I said, "I don't want to wake up every day anymore." And it wasn't until I said that out loud, because I'd just been bottling it all in, and I saw the helplessness in his face. And then I realised it's not fair for me to want to give up. It's not fair for me to want to give up for my family and my beautiful niece and my friends. And then I just had to find, I guess, the strength to go, that's not fair for me to just want to throw in the towel and go, you know what, enough's enough. So with my beautiful, supportive boyfriend and my beautiful friends, I ended up working forward and working on myself and realising my worth and going, you know what, I'm worthy of a great job, I'm worthy of a great boyfriend, and I just want to be the best version of me I possibly can for me and for my friends. And then I'd been working forward and speaking to a professional because I think that's important to do. And then, I went to Bali and I came back. This was on break.
This is just in the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, in the last 2 weeks. And I felt like I was like, oh, good. And I was, in a good place. And then I saw the heavy comments, and then these people were trolling and making up fake accounts and talking to my loved ones and making up lies about me that just weren't true. And it just all fell heavily on me again. And
these are personal things, not just about your work, but your personal life.
Exactly. And I was like, I've worked so hard to get away from that dark place. These trolls are relentless. They won't stop. They are pushing even harder. I don't know why, and I don't know why people think that they can do that to someone and say these things. And I just, and I've realized, you know what, I'm a good person and I've done nothing but great things for people and I don't deserve it. And I think there's plenty of people, not just me, that are out there that are going through a tough time and they might feel isolated and alone. And I can guarantee you the best thing I ever did was I admitted to myself and a loved one that I said, I'm actually not okay.
Being in a similar position as in we've gone on a break and I know that you do feel the pressure of this job and I think you come under a lot of incredibly unnecessary scrutiny for who you are and what you do, and I don't think you get enough praise for how well you were doing it. But here we were in what I thought was going to be a very beneficial break for you. We're 1 week into it at the halfway point, and then I see this tweet that even for someone who does know you, and maybe because I know how stressful it has been, even I had concerns because it was very similar to Charlotte Dawson's tweet that that story ended very tragically. And I think a lot of people like me had a very similar fear that maybe you were in a darker place than we could have imagined. So I'm glad that, firstly, I'm sorry to hear that it had been going on and that it had been as bad as it had been for so long, but pleased to hear that hopefully you have somewhat been able to find the light that can get you out of that dark place.
Yeah, and I think that's, due to so many supportive and beautiful people that are out there that are just, even they might be strangers or even yourself, you were so beautiful, and there's lots of people out there that just shared some really kind words and it was really supportive, and I think that that's fantastic, and it definitely helped me, that's for sure.
Sam, on behalf of me, someone who gets to work with you every single day, I adore you and I'm so glad that you are here in every possible way, and I look forward to having many more years of this show with you to come.